Okay, welcome everyone to another episode of The Realm. I'm Rich
I'm
I'm Rob.
Jenny.
I'm Rob.
and Rob. We got Jenny and Rob with us today. We're going to be talking about secret societies. This will be the last episode. Everybody
Maybe.
cry. Everybody cry. Woo! Not forever. It's not forever. Just this season. This is going to be the last episode for this season, and then we're going to take a little break, and we'll be back with some fun, interesting stuff. I think we're gonna try to put out some content during the downtime. I think we have some stuff saved up. Obviously, we have our movie reviews that we like doing, and I know coming up, I think we're gonna have a episode on some evidence that we had at our last investigation connected to the Paracon, which was a good time. Had everybody had fun, I believe. If you weren't there, you missed a good one. Myself and Rob especially were really good. So I'm just putting that out there. We had a good time. So Brian was with us, Gina, Amy, Jenny was there for a little bit. It was fun. Hi, Boone. Okay. Oh, we got a little visitor here. And obviously, everybody knows we have our Ireland trip coming up in end of February and March. So stay tuned for updates on that. We're all excited for that, and we're looking forward to some spooky adventures over across the pond. So
That's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Miss Lady Finkel of Blairdam, and she can start us out, and we will chime in as the peanut gallery. We did watch a couple episodes of different things related to the secret societies. Some of them I did know about. There were a few that I didn't know about. I guess it's not one of my go-to things that I'm always thinking about are secret societies. Clearly, when we bring up a couple of these, everybody's going to go.
One of mine either.
Right.
Stuff I don't go to the secret society thing. It's not one of my favorites. So
I mean, there's a couple out there that maybe I would, but I don't know. I mean, now
I look for cryptids and UFOs when I look at that stuff.
Very good. Now, at the Hellfire Club, that's over in Ireland. So, and that is some sort of way or form of a secret society thing. So I think some of these here touch on that, but that's a thing that when we go over there, maybe we can do a little bit of research on before we go and pop in there and check that out. Because obviously overseas in the old country, as they call it, a lot of this stuff is prevalent there just as much as it is here. Some of these ones you're going to recognize as more of a North America type, things that when we say some of these names, and then there's going to be some of them that people probably don't know. And then there's going to be people that are out there that say, hey, you guys touched on 5. There's 100 of them. We know that, but we don't have time for that. But feel free.
All that.
What's that?
We ain't got time for all that. We
ain't got time for all that. But feel free to reach out after this episode if you have any comments or anything you want to add, or you'd like to let us know about it, or if we totally screwed the pooch on it and you're like, man, you guys suck. You guys know what you're talking about, which could happen. But
it would never happen because we know exactly what we're talking about.
Oh yeah, we know exactly where we're heading down this rabbit hole. So anyway, without further ado, take it away, my lady.
Yeah, so I'm really glad that you guys know where this is going. So,
south fast.
I know. Secret societies. I don't know anything about secret societies outside of the information that we were looking up, Rich, because I never really had a lot of interest in them. But what I did find is that there are some things in common with the different secret societies, and they compare secret societies to anything from like sororities in college to different clubs. And the underlying thought here is that it's not that it's a secret that they exist. What's secret about secret societies is what happens behind closed doors or wherever they're in session or wherever they're meeting. and there can be some pretty strange things happening. And some of these secret societies are guarded by like extreme lengths of making sure that the public doesn't know what's happening in that area. So when we started looking into it, we were looking into some of the most common ones, like the Freemasons, and that was interesting. They typically will have kind of the promise of elite things, like other people are not privy to this, but because you're part of this group, you will be able to have this, or you will be able to make decisions on that, or you will have a heightened awareness or supernatural powers. It goes all across the gamut. So one of the shows you and I were watching, Rich, it was related to a group that wanted to actually see where some of these rituals take place. And that was kind of interesting because they went so far as to have guards guarding the road to the place, and
Yep.
it was on the water. And then they made sure that they had cameras everywhere so that if anybody got anywhere near it, they would interfere and confiscate those people and put them in jail if need be. So there was just a lot of interesting information that we found. A lot of
What I
them are, go ahead.
what I found interesting about what we watched and what we've read is that um, almost all of these that are out there, there's nothing sinister going on. You know, you think of secret society, you think all those people are doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and by all accounts, that's not the case. It's just basically all of these, you know, the Knights Templar, the Freemasons, the Illuminati, all that stuff. They're just groups of people that have, it's like a club, you know, that they do things. They have different rituals, like you say. And the other thing I found that was real interesting is they want to call it secret, but when you talk to them, it's not really secrets. It's like what each person interprets from each of these groups as to what happens. Because if you ask everybody, nobody knows exactly what happens behind the closed doors. It was like they were saying, like, it's all in each individual person of how they interpret what's happening. And that is how it is a secret. You know, like if you ask me something and I go, I really don't know what's going on here because because it didn't happen to me. You know, everybody has their own individual thing. So that's how they kind of secret society that, you know, why when anybody's asked about it, nobody has an answer. It's because most of them don't have the answer because they don't know everything, you know.
Well, they don't
And I
have
thought
enough.
that was interesting.
It seems like some of these secret societies, people pay a lot of money to be part of that. And one of the secret societies that we took a look at was the Bohemian Club. I think it was called the Bohemian Club, and it was like $25,000 a year, and there was like a waiting list of thousands of it was like 20,000 people um, on a waiting list to just be a part of this, and that much money spent. And you wonder what on earth is the benefit of spending $25,000 in a year and then being on a waiting list that long. They have a limited number of members, under 3,000 members in that group. And they're like really powerful people that come to actually participate in whatever it is that they're doing. And I think that this the unknown is probably the most fascinating part of what's happening. Um, I don't know that they're actually making decisions that are going to change the world, which is one of the theories out there, that they're behind closed doors and they're deciding who's going to be president and they're deciding who's going to rule this country, and they're predicting the future and all these different things. And I don't think that's true. I think maybe they've got a lot of influence on
But they
things
don't
that
do
happen.
anything they don't do anything to dispel what people think. They let people
So
think what they want, and that's the other part of the secretness and the I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but that's like the aura around it, because
Mhm.
they let people think what they want. These guys could be behind closed doors having a big game of Monopoly that goes on for 30 years. Who knows? They ain't, but they're not going to tell you. It's a secret. They're not going to tell anybody. And almost every one of these secret societies, one of the key things are symbols. There's a lot of symbols involved with everything, and when you find the symbols everywhere, like on the dollar bill or whatever, the different movies. What's the one? National Treasure. They're going around doing all this, and it focuses on the Freemasons. It just goes back, eons, and who knows how long it's been going on, and every one of them even has things that are out that aren't so secretive, like the Shriners Club. That's a subset of the Freemasons. And you see the commercials on TV all the time. The Shriners hospitals and all that stuff. And people donate to all that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's so many things out there that even we don't probably know about, or you don't realize what are backdoor ins to some of these clubs or societies that we don't even know about. I mean, right here in town, we had the Masonic Lodge, and that was pretty cool. I mean, I guess that, to me, that was probably the most knowledge I knew about anything, ever talked about, the Masonic Lodge. And then when everybody would talk about it, oh yeah, weird stuff, it's real secretive, So when you get told things like that from an early age, you just kind of, and no one does anything to change your point of view on that. You just kind of, that's what you expect. Now we've been inside there before, and clearly, I mean, it's a cool building, but there are a lot of symbols in there. They have their like thrones that they have all their, the tapestries and different things like that, and it's really cool. um like the compass, that's another symbol, that's a big one. And a lot of those, if you read up on some of that stuff, pay attention when you're out and about different places. You see those symbols a lot of places, and a lot of those buildings, that was their signage, or symbols. It's not going to say the Freemasons or whatever. They got symbols to guide people in, or so everybody knows what it is. In New York City, walking around, you see that all the time. When you're walking through town, you see all these buildings, and they have different symbols, or they have different signs, and different, this group runs this place, whatever. Um, so I mean, I think it's just a lot of misinformation, maybe, or maybe no information is the proper term to enlighten anybody. They just let everybody think what they want to think, and they're fine with that. Just like you were talking about the one where it was like $25,000 or whatever to get in. And it was one of the documentaries we watched on YouTube. And like you said, they had guards there, and it was
Mhm.
basically what it comes down to is it's just a lot of rich people that are there getting together, spending time, and doing whatever. It's just basically like a country club. Is the way I walked away from that one. Is like, you know what? Leave these people alone. They're not bothering anybody. But because they don't tell you what they're doing, then everybody goes, well, it's got to be bad. And that's it's and I get it. I mean, I get it. I get why people are like that. I mean, take a look around things that are happening in the world. I get why people are like that. And if you're not gonna do anything to dispel it, and go, oh no, 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 come on in, everybody, let's show you what we do. They're not doing that. If you're lucky enough to get an inside look on one of these things, that would be something that, if anybody ever offered that to somebody, you should do it, because I bet you would come away with a totally different idea of what these secret societies are.
Yeah, I think a lot of these secret societies had a foundation of Christianity. It seems like some of the rituals that they talk about, and just even the people that are involved have some of that religious background. A lot of these most popular ones, Skull and Bones, for example, no females were allowed until the 1990s. Why? Why were no females allowed? Was it part of
I've
the
got a list
Catholic religion
of why
or
they weren't
something
allowed.
like that? You have a list?
Hey, we don't want no broads around here.
Man cave. So, but I mean, there are tons of movies that were made based on some of these secret societies, not just the National Treasure, but um, the Da Vinci Code. That was huge.
Yep, yep,
And I remember watching that, not even knowing anything about secret societies, and I thought that was so interesting because of all the symbols and all of the
right.
trails that they were following to get answers and Eyes Wide Shut. That was controversial. That was a good one right there.
Hmm.
I think that there's a lot of conspiracy out there about what really is happening in their ceremonies and in their initiation ceremonies. Indiana Jones, Harry Potter, Order of the Phoenix, The Mummy. There were just a lot of movies that were created based on secret societies and the conspiracies that are kind of generated from them just because they're secret. So
Right.
Those are
I
secret.
know that I was interested in the fact when we were reading up on some of this stuff that Jimmy Buffett was part of the Bohemian Club. I thought that was
There's a,
kind of
there's
cool.
a lot of famous people that are associated with a lot of these different ones, and
Yeah.
it almost makes me wonder that if when you hear some of the names, it's more long time ago before our time, so to speak. That I wonder
Mhm.
if it was just more of a word of mouth thing, and it was just a thing that famous rich people did. You know, they're part of a group. This is what they want to do. This is what they're going to do. You got Winston Churchill, Davy Crockett, Franklin D. Roosevelt, Mozart, Disney.
Oh, sorry,
All these
yes.
all these people
Yep.
were involved in these things. And outside of that, if you take each one of those people and think about what they did, it has nothing to do with the secret society. It's just that's something else they did. Didn't make them bad people. Didn't mean they were out there trying to conquer the world. Well, besides Disney, obviously.
Well, and there were a lot of presidents that were part of the Freemasons. George Washington was a Freemason. Didn't even realize that. And apparently, that group was more of a Jewish origin, which again kind of ties into a lot of religious background. And I think a lot of it has to do with religion and politics, which, I think there's so many conspiracies just revolving around that. Were you ever in a sorority or anything, or fraternity, or did you do any type of clubs that had an initiation ceremony?
I've never been that kind of person to be in that kind of thing. And I mean, I didn't go to a university. I went to an art school, but I got my degree, right? So there weren't
Mhm.
any of those kind of frat houses or anything. Um, so yeah, no, I've never really been part of it. But when like being in the basement of the Freemasons or the Masonic Temple,
Yep.
when you think about that, like we were in the basement, but there was a balcony. So we were deeper than any other basement in that place, or probably around there, right? We were it's like a two-story basement.
Yeah.
I'm like, how many houses were like that around there? I mean, I used to do a lot of plumbing in Racine, so
Hmm.
in Kenosha, Walworth. I've been in a lot of basements. I've never seen a two-story basement before. So we didn't have like complete free range of that. So it makes me like, there's that unknown. So you want to create some more mystery to it, right? You want to add that mystery to it. And I'm sure that's a big part of the whole society and the secret part of it. And I'm sure it's very ritualistic. And that's probably why they do the rituals. It's they're,
Right.
they're entitled because they're rich or they're politicians or whatnot. So they go through these rituals. I sometimes have often wondered though if they were religious at all. I mean, I'm sure any type of ritual is religious in origin, but don't know if like the rituals were probably more something to make them, you know, enhance the society, make
Probably. Yeah.
them feel like they were more or better than the outside society. So that's just kind of been my interpretation of a lot of it. The mystery and of unknown of what is really happening. But a lot of times I think it was the skull and crossbones. I didn't research anything, but I remember seeing the video some guy snuck in someplace where there weren't supposed to be any cameras, and they were doing a ritual and had a big fire, and everybody was in robes, but they didn't eat anybody or sacrifice anybody. There was no orgy going on,
Right.
or anything like that. So maybe there is more to it, or maybe I don't know, because I guess I think too, like, when you think of the state of the world and you think of people like what's that guy's name that had the little island in the airplane and all the little kids?
You mean Mr. Work from Fantasy Island?
No, I mean the
Oh,
guy that
The train.
mysteriously died in the prison after he was gonna child porn. He was doing a child pornography or prostitution ring. The air, come on,
I don't know who that is.
Trump and everybody was tied to this guy Epstein.
Oh, you talking about? Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, what the hell's his name?
I don't even know, right?
Everybody was tied to that guy supposedly.
Right. So, like,
You talking about the guy that supposedly hung himself in jail?
yes. So, okay. So there's a secret. Was that a secret society? Like, who knows?
It sounds like it would be.
How long have they been getting away with doing what they're
Right.
doing? So I think about, like, that kind of thing, which, I mean, I'm not thinking about it like that, but that, or just any kind of, who knows, what they were doing to people, and eating people, orgies or whatever. But if they were getting away with that for that many years, like decades, who knows what they were getting away with for centuries. But probably that's just, you know what I mean? One thing happens and we want to build on all of it.
Yeah, right.
Right. Because even like back in 60s, when Anton LaVey put out the Church of Satan, and that was a new thing. I mean, I was just, because I couldn't remember all the people, but I know, like, it was a big thing, right? Because, and I don't think it was because these people were worshiping the devil, which is what they claim not to be doing, but like Sammy Davis Jr., James Manfield, Liberace, they were all part of that,
Yep.
So, and then we know weren't almost every president part of the Skull and Bones? Is that what it's called?
Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
So, I mean,
Yep.
I don't really
Well,
know, because, like I said, it's one of those things that when I look around for the type of topics that we put on this show, it's all interesting to me. But when I'm doing it, like, for my personal stuff, it's all like cryptoids, UFOs, and ghosts and stuff. It's like the secret societies or guys robbing planes and jumping out of airplanes is not stuff that grabs me by the boo boo.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this is we're kind of a secret society then, right?
We
Technically,
are,
what we
'cause
do, right?
what happens when you ghost
Technically,
hunting stays in ghost hunting.
well,
I
yeah,
don't know.
this is
There's
true.
recorders everywhere, even when you go to the bathroom.
I've seen some shit that'll turn you white.
So going to a public restroom is like a secret society. What
Yeah.
happens in the bathroom stays in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Now, you said something earlier, Rich, that I did not read this entire book, but there is a book by John Lawrence Reynolds, and it's called Secret Societies. And, this is one of the books that I was trying to read. I can't really make it show up on the screen very well.
There you go, right there. Yeah,
But,
that was good.
but I was just gonna take something in here because you had made the comment of, there could be hundreds of these things that spawn up, because you hear about how there's a secret society, and then there's a couple people who think, meh, we'll go and do our own thing, and I'm only going to take you, and then this is
Right.
the new criteria to get in, and this is going to be the new initiation. You
Well, I
got
think
your
there's like
company
5 or 10
society.
popular ones, or
Right.
popular, but mainstream ones that I think if you said the names, people would go, "Oh, I think I've heard of that." But I think there's, like I said, when we were looking at some of them or watching those shows, and there were all the different videos and everything. Some of them I had never heard of before, so I'm sure there's many that I've never heard of before. But then there's the ones that are more commonplace, the Freemasons and stuff, Illuminati, the mafia, things like that.
So,
Yeah.
Seems to be a lot, like I even touched on earlier, like, and Rob was saying the names of people, famous people. It seems like there's a lot of that. It seems like it's more of a gathering type thing for
elitists.
elitists, yeah,
Yeah,
famous
it's like
elitists,
it's a
politicians, whatever,
social
you know.
social status.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, if you can spend 20,000 a year to get into a club, and you're going to stand in line 20,000 to get into the 3,000, right? Like you see in those TV shows or movies, the comedies where the people stand in line to get into VP, and the VP
yep,
is a little
yep.
tiny room where one person hangs around till the next person leaves.
Hmm. That's how
Maybe
it was at Paracon.
that's
Man, we
all
had
it
a line all the way out to Sheridan Road.
is.
We let people in one at a time. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, the ones that we looked at were really some of those basic ones that are showing up, but you know, I don't really see a huge difference between a secret society and a cult. It is still, that whole collective, we're all in this for the same gain. We're
Yeah,
all
but in
in
a
this for the
cult,
same, what's that?
do you know what they're doing though? Is that more publicized that you kind of know what their goal is and what they're trying to get everybody to do, as opposed to like the secret societies where we've talked about where you don't really know what goes on behind closed doors. It's just basically hearsay. In a
Well, that's
cult,
a good question.
I think more you know what their goal is. You know, I'm asking. I don't know because I don't follow it enough. When something pops up on the news, I'll follow it a little bit, and then I don't remember shit real well. So
So,
um,
by dictionary definition, a cult is a relatively small group of people having religious beliefs or practices regarded by others as strange or sinister. A system of religious, oh, I don't know that word, and devotion directed towards a particular figure or object. So,
okay, so it's so
cult
similar,
is more religious and spiritual, I guess. Well, I don't know if it's
but I
spiritual.
guess they have more of the
It's
shrouded in
focused
secrecy
around a
thing.
deity or something.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's kind of they have that in common, but so do we. So I mean, what the hell?
Whoa, whoa,
I
whoa,
mean,
whoa. Whoa, whoa, buddy.
we, we can't just give everything away for free. We gotta keep some stuff close to the vest, and you know,
Right,
you know, not let everybody know everything. Otherwise, then everybody takes your ideas, and we
right.
definitely
And
don't
I
want
guess
that.
that goes into forbidden knowledge, right?
Yeah.
What is forbidden knowledge?
Well, I'm going to read just a sentence out of this book that caught my attention. Says anyone with internet connection and a search engine can summon up dozens of societies whose stated beliefs and agenda range from promoting alchemy, Central Ohio Temple of Hermetic Science, and benevolent Satanism, United
Oh.
Luciferin Church of France, to conduct telepathic relations with Mars, and Aetherius Society. We
I'm
didn't look at any of those. Now those sound really interesting.
right.
Had
Yeah,
I
that wasn't on the list of things when we were watching.
But see, that sounds more cultist, right?
A little
Than
bit,
well,
yeah.
it sounds like it, but it's in this book that is supposed to be secret societies that I can't get to show up very
Yeah, but
well.
I think there's just a huge range, just like anything else. Where
Yeah.
you got some that
secret
are
surge societies of diversion, because why would they be so out in the open if they were secret,
I know. Well, it's
right?
not
Like
they're not it's
false
not secret that
information.
it's not secret that they exist. It's only secret what they do.
right, right. But good luck finding out anything because no one's going to tell you. So
I would like
that's
to know what the benefit is of spending $25,000 a year.
I suppose if you had billions and millions, spending 25,000 is nothing. You know
I
what I
suppose.
mean? And if you got
true.
that kind of money and you got that kind of money coming in, you're probably like, hey, let's join that secret orgy society.
Say it better be pretty damn good on the inside of the walls for $25,000.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
I
I don't
guess
know.
that's a drop in a bucket for some people.
Yeah, I'll never know. So
No, that's what I make a year.
I'll never know. I'll never know that. But I don't want to know. I guess I like the secrecy part of it. Makes it more interesting.
But
Yeah.
wouldn't it be like being part of that, right? You're part of this secret, nobody knows. I mean, it probably gives them a kind of sense of, mystique or mysterious.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah. Yeah.
probably feel good and kind of make you feel above it.
Yeah. 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 I agree with you there. There is something to that of being part of something and knowing something that others don't. Yeah.
So what we could do, we don't need sponsorship. We just need to start a secret society at $25,000 a pop.
Heck yeah. That's a great idea,
What do you
Rob.
guys do?
Yep.
Don't worry
Well-
about it. It's a secret.
Yeah, and we don't have to pay
Really?
the 25 grand because we're grandfathered in. So
We could
Right?
come up
Well,
with some
yeah,
pretty awesome
that's
initiation
society.
ceremonies.
yeah,
I got it
Yeah.
all figured out, guys. Don't worry. Stick with me.
hey,
Please.
I'm on board. I'm on
Just
board.
drink
Let's
the
do it.
Kool-Aid, okay?
Yeah.
No, that's the cult. That's
Oh
the
yeah, right. I mean, yeah. Don't drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, don't
drink.
drink the Kool-Aid. Just sit in the throne that they have, and put on the headdress and everything else or whatever they have, and
So, like, if you think that when that place was hopping back in the day, and you were down there, do you think, like, if you had that opportunity to get all robed up and go in there, do you think you'd be like, "Whoa, this is cool," or do you think like, "Well, this is lame, boring. What am I doing here? Where's the refreshments?"
There's
What
got to
is
be some
happening?
sort of benefit that is secret to being a part of. And they did talked about that, some sort of enlightenment. I think some of these secret societies are focused on reincarnation, and some of them are focused on being able to connect with a higher power. And I don't know. Obviously, they don't talk about it much, but I don't know how emotionally attached people might be to whatever's happening in there. But that again brings me back to, it's similar to a cult. You get so wrapped up in it that it whatever it takes, whatever it takes, however long I'll wait in line and 20,000 people to get in it. Seems like it's something that you've got to be getting some sort of benefit from it. I'd be interested to hear about other secret societies that we haven't talked about from some of our listeners, and maybe describe, what is the benefit of this one or that one, or don't you know, because it's secret. But there's so many movies, there's so much conspiracy around this, symbols and stories, and I mean, there's got to be some sort of benefit. I just haven't been able to figure out what that benefit might be.
right.
So what we're saying too is, if any of our listeners are in a secret society and want us into it, we're really good at keeping secrets. So we would like to join that society. We just want to pay the 25,000, but
Yeah, if there's any way around that part,
right. We'll just like to be part of your secret society, and we'll keep it a secret. We just want to experience it.
Yep.
now,
It'd be
I
like
think
a secret society investigation.
I think we're talking about trying to go to that Masonic lodge that Miss Jill Shelley has down in Illinois, the one that owner of the Boyd House. She has that Masonic lodge that they just purchased not too recently ago, but not too long ago. And I know that's a place that I know that we want to go to. I'd be really interested in that.
Well, I think that that kind of covers what I learned about secret societies to be able to put together today's show. I know Rich and I watched some of the same formats and different storylines to kind of get a background of what it is. But we did not gather so much as to what the benefit was for each one. So interested in hearing what others might have to say about something like that. Like any club. Why do you want to be in the club?
Social status.
Social status? I
And also the
suppose.
possibility of cannibalism and orgies.
Is that what it says? Is that the definition?
No, that's my that was my personal. Oh my god, my mom listens to the show.
This is the family show.
I'm just
Well-
kidding. I wouldn't eat an animal or a human.
No, well, yeah, human. I draw the line there.
Well, Rob, you wouldn't need an animal.
Well, I get it.
Ah,
I don't know. Maybe they're like, focused on world domination. I don't know. Being able to control everything. So
I mean, okay, look at it this way. There's so many of them out there. They can't be looking at world domination because they'd be fighting each other.
this is true. That is
There's so many of them that are out there, and as you touched on, there's probably a bunch we never even heard of or ones we don't know about, you know. So I don't know that world domination is necessarily in their cards. I mean, but would be interesting, like if we if and when we get to go to a Masonic lodge, if you can find old documents or old photographs probably aren't so hard, but I'd be interested to find documents of some
Mhm.
sort that maybe even just a register of the people's names of who these people are that are involved in these things. It'd be interesting to see, not for anything other than just the interesting part of it. Just the nostalgia, the history of it, to look into that stuff. That would be really interesting. I mean, as paranormal investigators, and when we go to places like that, that's a big part of things we do with the research, or when we find something, we gotta look it up and figure out what it is, in the history of places. So if we were able to get to one of those, hopefully we do. I hope there's some remnants left over from when it was an active place, so that you can actually get an idea of what actually happened or went on there. And you know what? You got to think that there's hidden passages or doorways. I mean, can you imagine? That would be awesome. But then again, that could just be in my head. It could just be one big room and people sit there in a folding chair. Who knows?
Or
You
you
know.
watch The Da Vinci Code or some one of these other movies and it's stuck in your subconscious.
Well, yeah, and just
Seems
like
like
that one there,
there's a
it's like a
trail.
big puzzle. It's like that one
It says
thing
the
means
rich
this
and
means that,
powerful
and
may join secret societies for various reasons, including a sense of exclusive, exclusivity,
yep, yep.
access to powerful networks, shared values and beliefs, the allure of hidden knowledge, and the opportunity to influence society from behind the scenes, often with the perception of greater control or leverage due to their secrecy. However, it's important to note that not all secret societies are inherently malicious, and many may simply offer a space for like minded individuals to connect and collaborate. And when you got lots of money, it's probably hard to do that.
Probably.
Networking, shared
Yep.
ideologies, senses of belonging, prestige and status, hidden knowledge. Um, but then, it also goes into that not all of them, some are just philosophical, which goes back into hidden knowledge. So they're not
Sure.
necessarily secret
Yep.
society can be problematic. The secretive nature of the groups can raise concerns about accountability and transparency, leading to speculation and mistrust. So there's a lot of different reasons, but none of them really sound magical.
Right.
Well,
Anything else?
I wouldn't be able to really join any of them anyhow because I'm female. I think some of them are now accepting women, but there
Not
was
if
that.
they're smart.
Wow. Damn.
Oh man.
How
Well, it
did
makes me
Rob
want to
get
go
fired
watch the
from
Da
Morale?
Vinci Code again.
Yeah, it makes me want to go back and watch some of those
See, I
movies.
felt like I know I seen the Da Vinci Code, but I mean, wasn't that society like just totally based on? I always thought that society in that movie was a fiction. I'm not saying I know this. I just thought it was a fictional society based on the beliefs that Da Vinci knew that Jesus had married Mary and had kids, and that was what it was based on. But it's been a long time. I mean, I seen the movie when it first came out.
Yeah, me too. I'd have to watch it again, and maybe I will.
Yeah, I'm
It
thinking
was
maybe we
a good
should do
one,
that.
right? I
Yeah,
thought
I
it
don't
was really
can't
good.
say nothing bad. I mean, I remember I watched because there was a part two, right? There was a part two as well.
I
Yeah, I
think
think so.
I think so. I think I remember. I don't really remember much of it, but I think there was a part two as well. And I think both of them were good. I mean, they're good suspenseful movies. So I mean, like you said, Rob, how much of it was based off of true things, or how much of it was based off of just trying to do a mirror image of something that was real, and then turning it into a movie, and kind of just giving you bits and pieces to fill in the blanks. I don't remember, but I'd have to watch it again, and I will. I would. So
I just had a weird struggle of how to spell Da Vinci, knowing how to spell Da Vinci, and just completely not knowing how to spell Da Vinci. It was very interesting. Like, that was embarrassing. I'm glad I didn't do that. Yeah, there is the Da Vinci Code, the Da Vinci Co-Ed, which is probably not what we were thinking.
no,
Probably not.
no, that's probably not family friendly.
No, I'm guessing not, but I'm clicking on it to see what it says.
Well, yeah, you have to just for the pure,
It says it was a
Yeah.
TV movie,
Oh,
but three sexy spies are tasked with
Oh.
tracking down a co-ed who can unlock the scandalous secret to a ring that holds powerful sparks in people's carnal desires.
I bet.
Totally watching this one.
I already started. No, just kidding.
Hold on, because the main character is
Uh-oh.
Julie K. Smith, played by Chesty Drawers.
Oh boy.
Yep, went south.
I'm in. Take my money.
I thought you were going to say starring Betty White. I was going to say, okay, forget it.
Okay,
For all my Golden Girl fans out there.
that's Amy.
Good old Betty White.
Yeah.
She was hysterical.
Yeah, she was, especially in that Snickers commercial.
I don't even know which
Nobody,
commercial
no,
that-
no, nothing, huh?
No, I don't even remember that. I don't watch enough TV.
Yeah, I watch some. I kind of watch my shows, and then that's what I do. So I don't veer off too much. I got too many other things going on, too many other irons in the fire, so to speak. So,
Right.
but I am
So
almost
wait,
done listening to my recorder from the investigation. I got some strange shit.
oh, investigation.
I got some strange shit.
Oh, okay.
When I'm done with it, I'll send out the file and I'll send it to everybody with the pinpoints I have and the thoughts I have
I don't
on what
think
I
I
have.
ever even pulled out that
Go from
equipment. I've like completely forgot about it.
So, yeah, that was a weird night, Rob.
See,
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't expect much, but it was a little bit strange. So, I guess it turned out to be better than we expected. So, but I don't know. We got anything else there, my lady?
No, my lord. That's
Okay.
about it. I
the
don't have
sound of
much
that.
else to share. But I'd be really interested in anyone that would have more insight around this. Or what's that, Rob?
With the secret society we have right here with all the lords and ladies.
That's right. That's right. We got to start researching where our land is because I got to get there and get my picture taken there. So,
We're going to
got to make it
Ireland
official.
and Scotland, and you're going to go look for a 5-foot piece of land.
Yes, I am. What am I going to get to ever again?
It's dude. I mean, how is he going to know if he ever really got it?
That's true too.
He might go there and there might be like a store, and you're like, "Whoa, wait a minute, that's this tile."
You're gonna go in, there'll be like
in the
this
middle of the
taped off
bras
area
and
saying this
sneakers,
belongs to someone.
You go there, it's just a Costco.
Yeah, he's so bummed out.
All right. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed our little episode here on secret societies. Tune in to the rest of our season. As I said earlier, this is going to be the last episode of this year's season. We will be back for more. So don't fret, don't frown. We will be back. But now that's a perfect time to go back and start listening to some of our earlier episodes and then get caught up to all the fun things that we do and all the fun things we talk about and all the fun things we have coming up in the future. As I said, we are going to Ireland, as we were talking about for the last couple minutes, and we're going to be investigating a castle and staying in one and visiting Scotland and Loch Ness. And so we got a lot of stuff coming up, and I can only imagine we're going to have a couple episodes solely based on our experiences there. Plus, we'll do some live stream stuff. So if you're not listening yet, and this is your first time, good time to get on because you got a lot of good stuff coming up. So for Miss Lady Finkel and Mr. Lord Reverend Rob and Jenny. I'm Rich, and thank you for listening, and we'll see you later. Peace out and big balls.